Social introductions, ladies and gentlemen, of excellent family, introduced under the most respectable conditions in an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. Object, matrimony. Unfortunately, I won't be able to offer my usual lightning service today, as I have a previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of a Mr. Horace Vandegelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband, Ephraim Levi, always said, that means he's got at least $60,000 cash. But I'll do my best to have you carried across someone's threshold before the week is out. Now, I might also mention I'm available for financial consultation, instruction in the guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, and varicose veins reduced.
Call on Dolly. She's the one that Spencer's recommend. Just name that kind of man your sister. Once it's just that you know. Don't forget to bring her maid and she'll match you up. Call on Dolly.
Mrs. Levi!
Mr. Kemper, the artist. I'm something of an artist myself. I do those silhouettes with scissors and black paper. Here's one of Ada Ray and looking the other way. I have to do them that way because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get there on time,
But we will, Mr. Kemper. And not only will Horace Vandegelder give you permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, he will dance at your wedding. And not alone either, for I happen to be engaged in finding him a suitable second wife himself. What he really wants is someone steady to clean the house. As my late husband, Ephraim Levi, always said, marriage is a bribe to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
oh, I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half New York says he's going to propose to Miss Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is exactly why I'm on my way to Yonkers this morning, Mr. Kemper, and can take on your case and knock off 4 lovebirds with one stone, or whatever I'll throw, I'll see, and well, what do you think of that? I have nothing to pay my train fare with, only large bills, 5s and 7s.
Well, I seem to have some change here somewhere, Mrs. Levi. I only hope this isn't a wild goose chase.
Oh, and speaking of poultry, I'm also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, and pierced ears replucked.
Mrs. Levi?
Just name the kind of man your sister. Once it's just that you know. Don't forget to bring her maid and she'll match you up. Call on Dolly.
Tell me, Mrs. Levi, what's in all of this for you?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew. I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture and daffodils and lies. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, why should the tortured creatures beat around the bush when heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push? So I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there, and a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear. Surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced to some kind fool, kind of sense to give her bow a little boost. So I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there.
Mrs. Levi!
I know, Mr. Kemper. The train for Yonkers is ready to leave. You go buy our tickets, get a window seat, order lunch, I'll meet you on board. You know, Ephraim, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to marry Horace Vandegelder for his money and send it circulating among the people like rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign from you, sometime today, that you approve. Oh, it won't be a marriage in the sense that we had one, but I shall certainly make him happy. I'm tired, Ephraim. Tired of living from hand to mouth? So I want that sign.
Mrs. Levi!
Sometime today. Now don't you worry, Mr. Kemper. We'll get to Yonkers. We'll make that train. You'll marry Ermengarde. Just leave everything to me. I put my hand in
How can I be expected to play Yonkers my Yonkers with all that bellowing in my ears?
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say you're too young to be in love with anybody. Here, take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17. In another year, I'll be an old maid.
Well, I forbid it. Dare to be an old maid or McGarden, I'll cut you off at a cent. And don't cry in front of the store.
I can't help it, Uncle. I'm unhappy.
Then by thunder, you're going to weep for a while in New York where it won't be noticed. Now go upstairs and start packing your trunk. And don't get any tears on the lock. It was just oil. Cornelius, Barnaby.
You stabbed Mr. Van de Gelder?
I did. I got news for you both. I'm going to New York today to march in the 14th Street Association Parade. And when I come back, you're going to have a mistress.
I'm too young, Mr. Van de Gelder.
Not yours, mine. I'm getting married again. And in honor of that occasion, I'm promoting you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
And what am I now, Mr. Van de Gelder?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. And I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any more questions?
Yes.
What?
Does the chief clerk get at least one evening off a week?
So that's how you thank me for your promotion, is it? No, sir. You'll attend the store as usual. Now get back to work, and don't forget to put the lids on the sheep dip. Evenings off, marrying artists, foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools. And the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Why, even I was once young, which was foolish, and got married, which was foolish, and was poor, which was even more foolish than anything else. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me, and I got rich, friendless, and mean, which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Oh, and I know you're wondering now, why a man like me of such good sense should be planning to do something as foolish as getting married again. Well, the answer's simple. This house without a woman would be an empty shell and pretty dirty, too. It takes a woman all powdered and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resin fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
A frail young maiden who's constantly there for washing and bluing and shoeing the mare. And it takes a female for setting the table and weaning the Guernsey and cleaning the stable.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for femininity. Rah, 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 F-E-M-I-T-Y.
Get out of here! And in the winter she'll shovel the ice and lovingly set out the traps for the mice. She's a joy and treasure, and practically speaking, to whom can you turn when the plumbing is leaking?
To that dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman,
A husky woman,
to bring you the sweet things in life.
oh yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. All right, out of here, all of you.
Congratulations, congratulations. 1,000 congratulations.
What? What?
Congratulations, Mr. Van de Gelder. All of New York's buzzing with the news that you've practically proposed to Irene Malloy. The streets are lined with eligible young ladies prostrate with grief. All my congratulations and sympathy.
Sympathy.
Did I say that? A slip of the tongue, that's all. No, I'm delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload. By that I mean, you know what people said. Although I, for one, never believed the rumors. No, I didn't.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Van de Gelder. I mean, according to all known facts, her first husband did pass on quite naturally. It's just that he went so sudden. A few spoons of chowder she made special for him, and but it could happen to anyone. No, there's no truth to it, Mr. Van de Gelder. Just a word of advice. Eat out.
Now, hold on, Mrs. Levi. Are you trying to say that Miss Malloy killed...
I mean to say nothing, Mr. Van de Gelder. Just a bit of advice. Keep away from the chowder. By the way, she's ordered her wedding gown. Beautiful, you should see it. Black. As I said before, Mr. Van de Gelder, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials. And may you rest in, may guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Now, hold on, Mrs. Levi. You introduced me to Miss Malloy, and rumors or not, I still intend on paying another call on her this afternoon, as arranged.
Very well, Mr. Van de Gelder. Then I guess there's nothing more for me to do than to go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name.
Her name? Money. Ernestina Money.
What a lovely name.
Picture, if you will, Horace. Hair as shiny as a newly minted dime. Eyes as big around as silver dollars. And skin as soft and mossy as old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Age, 19. Weight, 102. Waist, 47.
Waist, 47.
That's with the money belt. Now, I could arrange for you to meet this Ernestina this very afternoon.
I ain't got time, Mrs. Levi. I gotta take my niece Ermengarde to New York until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
I could do that for you, Mr. Van de Gelder. I know just how to handle such things.
And then I'm marching in the 14th Street Parade.
What an amazing coincidence. Guess who's been chosen to ride on the main float? The spirit of the 14th Street Parade, Miss Money. Her mother was a cash, you know.
Okay, Mrs. Levi. I'll meet Miss Money at the parade, but I still intend on paying another call on Mrs. Malloy.
Oh, dear, what races you do make me run. Very well, Mr. Van de Gelder. I'll meet you on that bench in front of Miss Malloy's hat shop at 2:30 as usual.
One more thing, Mrs. Levi. Suppose I decide against Miss Malloy and don't like Miss Money neither.
Well, then I happen to have one more name on my list. A name I know as well as my own. But let's not go into that now. It'll come up all by itself, all in good time. No, don't you worry about that. Oh, but what do you see, Ernestina, Horace? A vision, a dream. It's buttoned.
It takes a woman all powdered and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resin fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman. Da, 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 da. You know, Ephraim, I think I'll have that front room done over in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Ermengarde and Bros, we've got plans to make.
Chief clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good, in another 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old and still not evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
You can live on holidays, Cornelius.
Do you remember what happened last Christmas? All those rotten tomato cans went bad and exploded, and we spent all afternoon cleaning them up. Do you call that living?
No.
Barnaby, you and I, we're going to New York.
You mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't.
We'll have to. Some more rotten tomato cans are going to explode.
Holy cabooses, how do you know?
I'm going to light a candle under them. That's how I know. It'll create such a smell, customers won't be able to come into the store for 24 hours. That'll get us an evening free. We're going to New York, Barnaby. We're going to live. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to be in danger. We're going to spend our money. We're going to be arrested.
Holy cabooses!
And one more thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we've each kissed a girl.
Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33 years old. I've got to begin sometime.
Well, I'm only 17, Cornelius. It's not so urgent for me.
New York, Barnaby. Elevated trains. The lights of Broadway. The stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale!
The stuffed whale. What do you say, Barnaby?
Yes, Cornelius, yes!
Now, the first thing to do is to make sure that you're financially independent. I know. I'll find you a job. Can you dance?
I'm an artist, Mrs. Levi. I paint.
Then my card.
This is Dolly Levi, artist taught how to dance.
Now, there's a man, Rudolph Reisenweber, at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant on 14th Street. I'll give you a note for him, and we'll see if we can have you both entered in the polka contest tonight. The prize is a week's engagement and a solid gold cup. Oh, the cups we won, Ephraim and me.
Hold on, Mrs. Levi. No fiancé of mine is going to set foot in a cafe. And I don't mind saying that I'm surprised that you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Oh, not acquaintances, Mr. Kemper. Friends, dear friends from days gone by. You see, my late husband believed in life in any place you could find it. In cafes, ballrooms, yes, even theaters. Why, even when times were bad, every Saturday night, like clockwork, down those stairs at the Harmonia Gardens we came, Ephraim and me.
Well, it's all very well to come down like clockwork, Mrs. Levi, but you're asking Ermengarde to work there.
It's the only way to show Horace Van de Gelder that we mean business. Now, you go to the Harmonia Gardens restaurant this afternoon and tell them Miss Levi sent you. And incidentally, tell Rudolph that Dolly's coming back. And I want a table for 2 and a chicken for 8 o'clock tonight.
The bottom row looks all right, Cornelius. Now hold the candle under those ones on top. Not too close. They're swelled up like they're about ready to bust. Holy cabooses, Cornelius, I can smell it up here.
Come on, Barnaby. Let's get dressed. We're going to New York. Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. But on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air, with girls in white and a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. And we'll see the shows at Delmonico's, and we'll close the town in a whirl, and we won't come home until we've kissed a girl.
Those when you feel down and out, stroll down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirit seems to turn around. And Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you are.
Beneath the parasol, the world is all a smile. It makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your slippers, your flannel, your red suspenders and hose. But there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes. Come on, Barnaby, we're going to New York. Elevated trains, Barnaby, the lights of Broadway.
Holy cabooses!
The stuffed whale in Barnum's Museum.
Wow!
Come on!
Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you are. Beneath the parasol, Oh dear, oh my. Will you look at that? 10 o'clock and the shop not opened yet. It's all because of the impending marriage, I tell you. What marriage? Why, I thought you knew. The marriage Mrs. Levi is arranging between Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known Yonkers half-a-millionaire, and my employer and friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although, if you ask me, he'll never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace, wherever he is. I'm not sure. He was a caution, you know. Oh, it's all too much, what with late husbands and new marriages, and on top of everything else, Mrs. Mortimer returning this hat for the 3rd time. Same old story. She wants more cherries and feathers, to catch a bow, I suppose. Although, if you ask me, she'd do much better with a nice, heavy veil. I told her ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye, but she'd have none of it. Cherries and feathers she wants. And on today of all days, when that poor, dear, sweet Mrs. Malloy has enough on her mind, what with...
With what, Minnie?
With the door. It's stuck.
It's stuck? Then push.
And as I was saying, Mrs. Malloy, I could bite off my tongue for the things I've said and the things I'm going to say, but as long as I've gone this far, I might as well go all the way. Mrs. Malloy, why...
Say it, Minnie. Why have I decided to marry Horace Vandergelder?
Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I would rather die on the rack than to ask you such a personal question. But as long as you did bring it up.
I am marrying Horace Vandergelder for one reason and one reason alone, Minnie. To get away from the millinery business. I hate hats.
Mrs. Malloy!
And I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy.
Don't protest, Minnie. All millineresses are suspected of being wicked women. That's why I can't go into restaurants or balls or theaters. That's all the proof they'd need. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandergelder or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Oh, no, not Miss Mortimer again.
Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it.
No, Minnie, leave it be. You can make another hat for Miss Mortimer if you like. I'm wearing this one myself.
Mrs. Malloy, you can't. You're a widow, and that hat, well, it's provocative, that's what.
Is it, Minnie? Well, who knows who may walk into the hat shop today. And provocative may be just what I want to be.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy.
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer. Blue and green and streaming in the yellow sky. So if someone special comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch a gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my hair, that he and so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my hair, that he might notice me.
Mrs. Malloy, wild horses couldn't make me ask you this next question I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyhow. Do you love Horace Vandergelder?
No, Minnie, I don't. Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love, and I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman as long as it's true love, and it was that. Minnie, look! There's two men staring at the shop. Men! What? I do believe they need to come in here. Men? In the shop? Oh, Mrs. Malloy, what shall we do? Do? Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one.
Mrs. Malloy, and you with all that talk about love.
Love enough I've had, Minnie. It's a bit of adventure I could do with now. We'll get them all heated up and then drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Now, you go back into the workroom. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances. Besides, a bit of a wait will only make them nervous and easier for us to...
If you say vampire, I'll scream.
Vampire! And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow up behind me that might happen to catch a gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet.
Adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long we wander around New York, and nothing happens. Then we come to the quietest street in the city, and suddenly...
Vangelder!
Is he still out there? Go look.
He's still sitting on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it, all right? Now, how much money we got left?
Not much, Cornelius. 40 cents for the train back, 30 cents for dinner, and 20 cents to see the whale. 90 cents. Why?
Because when those women come out, we'll pretend to be customers. Customers, that's it. Maybe the best thing to do is pretend we're rich. Then we won't have to spend anything. We're two men about town looking for hats for ladies. Hello, Mrs.
Malloy.
Here, Cornelius Hackle.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
See, we're two ladies about town looking for some hats to Malloy, and we wondered...
No, we're hats, you see. We were wondering if we could buy a lady or two to Malloy with.
We want a hat. For a lady, of course. And everyone said to come to Miss Malloy's because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1 with still enough to see the whale.
You got to pay him no mind, ma'am. He's come all the way from Yonkers to see the stuffed whale, and he's all excited. Why don't you keep an eye on that street, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big and black with little mean red eyes?
Yes.
Well, it's sitting on that bench.
Excuse me, but did you say Yonkers, Mr. Hackle?
Oh, yes, ma'am, Yonkers. And pardon me for saying so, but you should see Yonkers. By that, I mean perhaps Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers, too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Barnaby, she's a widow! Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed Yonkers, too. Especially in that hat. I mean on you, of course, not Mr. Malloy. May he rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, that's okay. I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you should ever happen to have an evening free in the near future, I'd be more than happy to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Hackle, I might be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
You see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
Oh, It's usually so silly to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's a Mr. Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Oh, Vandergelder's how you feed?
Do you know him?
No, no, no.
Mr. Vandergelder's a substantial man, and well-liked, they tell me.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Lovely man. Only one fault as far as I know. He's hard as nails.
Cornelius, I think.
Now, I wonder if your friend might like this one.
Look out!
Excuse us, Miss Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Help us, Miss Malloy. We'll explain later.
Come out of there this minute.
We're as innocent as can be, Miss
Well,
Malloy.
really, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, I insist that you both come out or I'll be forced to... Mr. Vandergelder.
This is Malloy. I don't suppose Miss Levi is here, is she? She was supposed to meet me on that bench 10 minutes ago. Well, you can tell her she can just go looking for me when she comes. When I make an appointment, I like for people to be on time. Oh, here's a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts. Unshelled. That's the expensive kind. Did I just see you talking with two men?
Men? Men, Mr. Vandergelder? What would men be doing in a ladies' hat shop? Well, now, let's go back into my workroom. I'm so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
Oh, so you did. Well, Mr. Vandergelder, what's new in the hay and feed business? I understand you have 3 friends, all hard as nails.
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers, Mr. Vandergelder. I hear it's a very beautiful city.
And who has been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Nobody, Mr. Vandergelder. A friend.
What friend?
Well, you see,
He?
A customer, Mr. Vandergelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. He was in here buying hats for ladies. You might even know him, although it's usually silly to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's a Mr. Cornelius Hackle.
Did you say Hackle?
Why, yes.
He's my chief clerk, that's all. Miss Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everybody in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. Why, he's here, at the opera, in all the fashionable homes. Why, he's even at the Harmony Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible. He's got $146.35. I keep it in my own safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Panama.
Both.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses out of Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the 5th Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Mrs. Oh, I cannot say, but it was Cornelius. He's the playboy of New York. Now, Irene, don't deny it. I can tell that you were as taken with him as everybody else.
Dolly, what are you saying? I've only seen him once in my life. Really, Dolly?
Excuse me.
Of course.
Now look here, if there's a man in that closet...
No, Mr. Vandergelder, you can't. It's too dangerous.
No man that hides in ladies' closets can frighten me, Miss Levi. Now stand aside.
No man indeed. I'm sure you'd make short work of any man. Those muscles rippling under your coat. Ripple, ripple, ripple. Back and forth. Ripple, ripple, ripple.
Mrs. Levi, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed. That's exactly what the courts will want to know when you're charged of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for if you don't stand for the law of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, Sir Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on the hill at Gettysburg? He's that great child full art. If you see him as he's tramping through the grapes of wrath, stand up and march, march, march. Has this not affected you, sir? I came here at 14 years of age as an immigrant girl from a land that oppressed my people. And I must echo here what was said by that great and patriotic American, Moses. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir, there's a tear-stained eagle passing. Do you see him on the bridge at Waterloo? See that great triumphal arch? If you hear him singing Dixie in the sugar cane, stand up and march, march, march.
I stand for Martha, Martha, and the Athens for Athens. Take off your hat, Sir Betsy Ross's flag is rising. Do you see it on him at Gettysburg? He's the great triumphal march. If you see the trumpet blowing, stand up and march, march.
7 years ago,
To form more perfect union. March, march,
Blessed torpedoes full speed ahead.
march, march, march.
So you see, Mr. Vandergelder, there couldn't possibly be a man in that closet.
Achoo!
God bless you.
Mrs. Malloy!
all right, Mr. Vandergelder, there is a man in that closet.
Aha!
And another under this table.
For the devil!
But there also happens to be a very simple explanation. But for the present, good afternoon.
Goodness, the whole room's crawling with men. I'll never get over it. So I take it I'll see you later on this afternoon, Mr. Vandergelder.
Oh, you certainly will. With a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy.
I can explain everything, Mrs. Malloy. You see,
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop at once, or I send for Officer Goggerty.
Well, if you ask me, Irene, sending for an officer's letting them off too easy. The law courts, that's where they belong. I've been adding up the legal offenses of these two, and believe me, you've got grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compos mentis, and a garnishee. But the main thing to do is to show that you tried to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dinner!
Is that absolutely necessary, Dolly?
It's the way things are done in the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnishee afterwards.
Well, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fayette and me to dinner.
we'd be delighted, Mrs. Malloy. And I speak for Barnaby, too. Now, I hear there's a nice little restaurant down at the railroad station.
Oh, no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. I hear they have a lovely orchestra there, Minnie.
Oh, we couldn't go there, Mrs. Malloy. It's not the money or anything. It's the
whale!
It's the whale! It's not the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. See, they have dancing in a place like that. Exhibitions, contests, and I don't know how, and it would take me weeks, months, years to learn. Mrs. Dolly Levi, 33-year-old chief clerk's taught how to dance.
Now it's simple. You put one arm here and one arm here.
It's no use. I have absolutely no sense of rhythm.
Absolutely no sense of rhythm is one of the primary requirements for learning by the Gallagher-Levi method. Just give me 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Hackle, and I'll have you dancing in the streets. Let's start with lesson 7, the waltz kick turn. Now it's simple. Right foot touch, left foot touch, back turn around, under, release, unfurl. Wonderful. When I think of the women who will find heaven in your arms. Let's go back to lesson 1. Put your hand on her waist and stand with her right in your left hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look, I'm dancing. Well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. Take the someone whose arms you're in. Hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow, I'm dancing.
Turn around and turn around, try floating through the air. Can't you be a little more aesthetic?
Don't you think my dancing has a polish and a flair?
The word I think I'd use is athletic.
Well, my heart is about to burst. my head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop? Look, everyone, I, Cornelius Hackle, sport, I'm dancing.
You're next, Mr. Tucker. Glide and then step and glide.
And everyone step aside.
He's dancing.
You can learn to poke if you work a week or so. All the tango filled with passion seething.
I might join the chorus of the Castle Garden show.
Well, whatever you do, for gosh sakes, keep breathing. Well, my heart is
about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop?
When there's someone you hardly know and wish you were closer to, remember that he can be near to you while you're dancing. Though you've only just said hello, he's suddenly someone who can make all your daydreams appear to you while you're dancing.
Make the music weave a spell, whirl away your worries. Things look almost twice as well when they're slightly blurry.
as around and around you go. Your spirit will hit the top.
And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stopped?
Well, well, well! Look who's here! It's Mrs. Levi. How are you, Mrs. Levi?
How are you, Miss Rose?
The same. Pains in my back, aches in my side, and stabs in my liver. But I'm fine. My daughter Fanny got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago last September. It's been a long time since you've lived here, Mrs. Levi. Such a long, long time.
Let me go, Ephraim. It's been long enough, Ephraim. Every night for all these years, I put out the cat, locked the door, made myself a rum toddy. And every night before I went to bed, I said a prayer, thanking God that I was independent that no one else's life was mixed up with mine. Till one night, an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. I placed it there when you asked me to marry you, Ephraim. A perfectly good oak leaf, but without life and without color. And suddenly I realized I was like that oak leaf. For years, I had not shed one tear, nor have I been filled with the wonderful hope that something or other would turn out well. And so I've decided to rejoin the human race. And Ephraim, I want you to give me away. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by.
Mrs. Levi, come along. Cornelius is taking us down to see the 14th Street Parade. Everybody will be marching.
Irene, you're crying.
Oh, Dolly, the world is full of wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will, Irene. I will. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get some life back into my life. I'm ready to move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life with the rest of them, with the best of them. I can hold my head up high, for I've got to go again. I've got to drive again. I want to feel my heart coming alive again before the parade passes by. Look at that crowd up ahead. Listen and hear that brass harmony growing. Look at that crowd up ahead. Pardon me if my old spirit is showing. All of those lights over there seem to be telling me where I'm going. When the whistles blow and the cymbals crash and the sparklers light the sky, I'm gonna race along, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old guitar before the parade passes by. Listen and hear that brass harmony growing. When the parade passes by, pardon me if my old spirit is showing. All those lights over there seem to be telling me where I'm going. When the whistles blow and the cymbals crash and the sparklers light the sky, I'm gonna raise the moon, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old guitar before the parade passes by.
Mrs. Levi, Ms. Money was supposed to be on the main float. Mrs. Levi, what is the meaning of this?
Nothing to get upset about, Horace. A last-minute substitution. Miss Money had a sudden urgent business appointment at the Mint. They ran a little short, and she's helping out. but she'll meet you at the Harmony Gardens restaurant at 8 o'clock tonight.
That's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
And well, it should be. What food and the fastest waiters in New York. By the way, I might be a little late, so she'll meet you in front of the restaurant. Oh, but wait till you see Horace. All in pink with feathers, singing an old-fashioned tune. Yes, sweet Rosie O'Grady. You couldn't miss her if you tried.
All right, Dolly, I'll be there. But only because I already paid for the introduction and I might as well get my money's worth. But from this point on, you are hereby discharged as my marriage broker. Is that clear? From now on, Dolly Gallagher, you're just a woman like anyone else.
Ephraim, he's as good as mine.
just loved looking at the lights of 14th Street these past 4 hours. But now perhaps you'd better call a hack, or we won't get to the Harmonia Gardens on time. Oh, there's one.
Oh, we couldn't do that, Mrs. Malloy. It is the money or anything. It's just that nowadays, really elegant people never take hacks.
Hacks is out.
They go by streetcar.
J.P. Vanderbilt, Diamond Jim Morgan.
Then by all means, a streetcar.
Imagine, just think, I've been elegant all my life and never even knew it.
Of course, if you really want to be elegant,
We do.
you walk. Yes, New York, it's really us, Barnaby and Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular.
What a knack there is to that, acting like a born aristocrat. We've got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off.
All who are well-bred agree, many fay has pedigree.
Exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond gems tonight. Could they be misleading us?
Silver spoons were used for feeding us.
We've got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. Middle class, don't speak of it, savoir-faire. We reek of it, some were born with rags and patches, but we use dollar bills for matches and
Vanderbilt, kowtows to us.
J.P. Morgan scrapes and bows for us.
we've got elegance. If you ain't got elegance,
If you notice when I hold my cup, the saucer never moves.
And the way I hold my pinky up into the toppling
we've got elegance. We've got built-in elegance, and with elegance, we'll carry it on. We've got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. We've got elegance. We've got elegance.
Minnie, look, they're counting their money again. Isn't that just like the rich? Well, gentlemen, aren't you going to escort us in?
Of course we are, Mrs. Malloy. Barnaby. Mrs. Malloy,
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
Mrs. Malloy, as we walk inside, may I
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle, but I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
You heard Mrs. Levi. This is the only way we can help that we meet vision.
White Rosie O'Grady, my sweet little rose.
Und it is my order as head waiter of the Harmonia Gardens restaurant And your supreme commander for tonight, of all nights. Our usual lightning service will be twice as lightning as ever. Order! Satisfactory, sir. The private dining rooms cost a bit more, but they do afford the best view of the entertainment.
$1.40, Cornelius, that's all that's left.
Are you sure? Count it again.
Prepare yourself for a big night, Minnie. We're out with two of New York's best-known sports.
I did make a mistake, Cornelius. It's only $1.35. I'll count it once more.
No, don't. We can't afford it.
I'm going to order everything on the menu. Waiter!
This table is reserved for Miss Levi party.
And who do you think I am? Only it's Horace Vandergilderen party. She's in my party. I ain't in hers.
Of course. It's just Miss Levi mentioning nothing about you bringing your...
My personal physician. That's enough, Rouge Doctor.
But Miss Levi only ordered a chicken for two.
Chickens? Chickens are dear.
Un pâté miston, soup du jour, un pomme soufflé.
Why didn't you tell me this was an Oriental establishment? We'll take 2 bowls of rice. Now get out. Now, Ms. Money, I understand you carry respectable sums in your belt.
Yeah, $2. Only it's in my daughter.
It's sweet of you to worry about our reputations, Cornelius, but Minnie and I don't care who sees us tonight. Well, Minnie, what have you decided?
Oh, I couldn't have anything at these prices. I really couldn't.
Great grindstones, what a sensible girl. We'll have 4 glasses of beer, a loaf of yesterday's bread, and some cheese.
Yesterday's bread? Oh, Cornelius, now I know how you keep half of New York in stitches all the time. Minnie, have you ever eaten pheasant?
Pheasant!
Say, why are you hiding behind the menu? You ashamed of something?
No, it's not that. I just felt a slight chill.
Well, why didn't you say so? Here, I'll loan you this. Now, let's order us something to hold us till the rice comes. Waiter, would you bring us a roast suckling pig with chestnut and oyster stuffing, cheese fondue, and some lady fingers? Now, what do you have? Hey, you with the big ears! What you doing after the show?
It's sweet of you to worry about our digestion, Cornelius, but I'm sure the pheasants are fresh. We'll take 4, please, and a nice red wine.
Wait a minute. No wine.
No wine.
Champagne.
Champagne!
It's once in a lifetime, Barnaby. Champagne. Neapolitan ice cream, Hot House peaches, and Barnaby, give the band leader a nickel and tell him to play To a Wild Rose. We want music while we dine.
Say, this is a cafe, isn't it? Let's dance.
The Vandegotas do not dance, Miss Money. We're Presbyterian.
Well, all right. I'll dance myself. Give the band leader $2 and tell him to play something refined. I'm gonna do the hoochie coochie.
All right, Cornelius, I'll send for the band, but promise you won't order anything else.
Wait here, Miss Money. I'll tell the band leader to play a nice waltz. Look, you, give this to the band leader and tell him to play a waltz.
Here, give this to the band leader and tell him to play a...
Miss Money!
2 more pheasants, please.
Cornelius!
My purse!
My wallet!
Look, you, that's my purse. Miss Money, get out of the chairs. You're dancing in the stew.
Here, sir, that's my wallet. You see, I know it's mine because it only has $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies, and a... Cornelius! Cornelius! Did he say 2 pheasants? 3, 4 pheasants for the entire house? And never mind about seeing the well, I'll buy my own!
Sir! Sir! What's this? Shouting boy? How many times have I told you? Not to shout, boy. This is Harmonia Gardens restaurant. Not one of those.
But sir, she's here. The lady.
What? Are you sure, boy?
Like you told me, sir. And clothes 8 o'clock on the nose up. Pulls a carriage, and out steps a tall lady with red hair and the biggest handbag I ever saw.
It's she. Mrs. Levi. She's back.
Rudolph, is it true? I thought I heard something outside the kitchen window, and it sounded like...
It is. It's Dolly. Fritz, tell the man. She just stepped out of her carriage.
Rudolph, it's true? No?
It's true, John. She just pulled up in a gold and white carriage, pulled by 6 black horses with scarlet plumes.
Aha, Rudolph, it's like old times again. Sir, sir, Rudy, she's here.
Hello, and into my personal haze. But now that I'm back in the lights of 14th Street, tomorrow will be brighter than the good old days.
Those good old days. Hello, Dolly. Well, hello. Hey, look, there's Dolly.
Glad to see you. Let's make my lucky star.
Your lucky star.
You're looking great. Stanley, lose some weight. Stanley, Dolly's overjoyed and overwhelmed and overpowered.
I hear the eyes tinkle, see the lights twinkle, and you still get glances from us handsome men. So,
Golly gee, fellas, buy me a vacant knee, fellas.
Dolly, you'll never go away again. Dolly, we can tell. Dolly, you're still growing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. Hey, yeah!
Look at the old girl now, fellas. Dolly, you'll never go away. Dolly, you'll never go away. Dolly, you'll never go away again. Yeah.
Excuse me, girlie. Dolly. Dolly Gallagher. What are you doing in that getup? And you're half an hour late. And I demand an explanation of...
Ernestina.
Exactly.
Ernestina, whom I trusted.
She wanted to do the hoochie coochie.
Well, she always was artistic. Horace, I'm going to have our table moved right down front. There's someone in the dance competition I particularly want you to see. Oh, but I'm as shocked as you are. Let's not say another word about it. I can't eat a thing. What have you ordered?
What you wanted, a chicken. Now, Mrs. Levi, about that
Did
hoochie
you
coochie
say
girl.
a chicken? Oh, not a chicken. I don't think I could face a chicken. Not today. Not after what's happened.
Good. Cancel the chicken.
And bring a turkey.
What are you doing now, Dolly?
Nothing. Looking the place over. Getting acquainted with the surroundings.
That's the trouble with you, Dolly. Always wanting to know everything. always sticking your nose into other people's affairs, while anyone that married you would get as nervous as a cat.
What? What is that you're saying?
I said anyone that married you would get as
Horace Van de Gelder, get that idea right out of your head. I'm surprised you even mentioned such a thing. Understand once and for all that I had no intention of marrying you.
I didn't mean that.
Well, I certainly do hope not. Horace Van de Gelder, you go your way and I'll go mine. I'm not some ivory Malloy whose head can be turned by a few chocolate-covered peanuts unshelled. Why the idea of you even suggesting such a thing?
Now, Mrs. Levi, you misunderstood me.
I certainly do hope not. But if I had any intention of marrying again, it would be to a far more pleasure-loving man than you. But let's not say another word about it. Here's the waiter with our food. I'll serve Mr. Van de Gelder, Rudolph. Well, as I said before, Horace, you go your way and I'll go mine. But since you brought the matter up, there's one more thing I ought to say.
I didn't bring the matter up at all.
One more thing I ought to say. Horace, it's true. I'm a woman who likes to know everything that's going on, who likes to manage things. But I wouldn't want to manage anything as out of control as your household. You'll have to do that yourself, God helping you.
It's not out of control.
That's good. Now, let's not say another word about it. Here, have some beets, Horace. They're good.
I don't like beets.
That's good. No, Horace, a complaining, quarrelsome, friendless soul like yours is no companion for me. You salt your beets, and I'll salt mine.
Will you stop saying that?
I won't say another word.
Good.
Except this. Horace, at your age, you should enjoy hearing the honest truth.
My age, my age. You're always talking about my age.
Well, I don't know what your age is, but I do know that up in Yonkers, with bad food and bad temper, you'll double it in 6 months. Here, have some more beets.
I don't like beets.
That's good. Now dig right in. Now, the pity of it is you could be a perfectly charming, witty, amiable man if you wanted to.
I don't want to be charming.
But you are. Look at you now. You can't hide it. Now, sit down and let's talk of something else. But before we go on, there's one more thing I ought to say.
I don't want to hear it, Dolly. I'm not going to ask you to marry me.
Well, then I suppose that means you want me to ask you. Well, I'm sorry, Horace. I'm turning you down.
How can you turn me down when I haven't asked you anything?
It's no use arguing. I've made up your mind. Here, let me cut your wing.
I got a headache. I'm going back to the hotel.
You can't go now. The competition's about to begin.
Here's the money to pay for dinner. Here's $20. Wait a minute. There's nothing in here but $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies, and a button. This isn't my purse. I've lost my purse.
Barnaby, that purse you found.
Impossible. I can't imagine you without your purse.
It's Van de Gelders. We begged you out of here, Cornelius.
But what am I going to do? I've never been here before. They don't know me. Stop eating that turkey. I can't pay for it.
Horace, look. It's the latest thing, a polka. And there's one dancer I particularly want you to see. Rudolph, move our table right down front, so Mr. Van de Gelder can better observe his graceful movements.
Wait a minute. That man. That dancer.
Isn't he wonderful? With talent like that, he's sure to win the solid gold cup.
Come along, Mrs. Malloy. It's been a perfectly wonderful afternoon, but I'm afraid we're going to have to cut it a bit. Excuse me, short.
Minnie, a polka! Cornelius, I simply must have one dance.
But Van de Gelders right over there. We've got to go.
We will go, but we'll dance our way out.
Mr. Van de Gelder!
Barnaby Tucker!
Mr. Van de Gelder!
Oh my God! Dolly, this is your doing. What are you up to?
I can explain everything, Mr. Van de Gelder.
I don't want any explanations. You're fired. Officer, arrest that man! Get your hands off me! Go!
That's better. Now, you're all charged with disturbing the peace, assault and battery, and inciting a riot, and several other equally serious charges of this city. Is there anyone here to speak on your behalf? I say, is there anyone here to speak on your behalf? Mrs. Dolly Levi, counselor at law.
Your Honor, the defense rests. Now, there's no need to call witnesses, ladies and gentlemen. When I see upon that bench a brow that gleams with honor and a nose, I ask you to look at that nose, ladies and gentlemen. A nose that shines in the night like a flaming beacon of justice. Your Honor, would you turn this way a bit so we can have a better look at your beacon? A living symbol of the motto of this great land, E proboscis unum. Your Honor, I ask for freedom for my clients and a verdict of guilty to the only real culprit, Horace Van de Gelder of Yonkers, New York.
Dolly!
The one man responsible for these grievous charges of willful destruction to private property.
A curtain torn, a waiter bruised, and a solid gold cup-band.
Cruelty to a poor, unfortunate minor. Would you mind repeating that, dear?
Excuse me, Mrs. Levi, but if it please the court, I have something to say.
I was just about to call you, Mr. Hackle. Go right ahead.
Cornelius Hackle, if you dare testify against me, you'll be discharged.
You've already done that, Mr. Van de Gelder.
I'll do it again.
You've done it again, too. But even if you hadn't, I'd still say what I had to say. I don't know anything about disturbing the peace or inciting to riot, but I do know that what happened to me today is the greatest thing that could happen to any man. And it wouldn't happen to me if I'd obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. Your Honor, I'm talking about none other than love.
What? You mean to tell me that after 33 years you fall into love because you got one evening off?
Oh, no, Mr. Van de Gelder. I didn't fall in love with Miss Irene Malloy of this city in just one evening, not an hour. What's less than a minute?
A second.
Less than that.
A moment.
That's it. Now, I'll go slowly so you can get it all down. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your heart knows in a moment you can never be alone again. I held her for an instant, and my arms felt safe and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long. Isn't the world full of wonderful things? There I sat, cooped up in Yonkers for years and years, and all that time, wonderful people like Mrs. Malloy were wandering around New York, and I didn't know them at all. I don't know if you can see from where you're sitting, the way her eye and cheek and forehead come together up here. Can you? I tell you right now, a fine woman is God's greatest work on earth. You can talk all you want about Niagara Falls and the pyramids, but they're not in it at all. No, I've seen women before, but today I talked to one, equal to equal. And they're so different from men, and awfully mysterious too. I bet you could know a woman 100 years without ever really being sure if she liked you or not. Today, I've lost so many things. My job, my future, just about everything in life that people think is important. But I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I'll be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day.
Pardon me, Mr. Hackle, but I missed a few words back there. Right after it only.
takes a moment, for his arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment.
He held me for an instant, but his arms felt safe and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long.
And that is all that love's about.
And we'll recall when time runs out
That it only took a moment to be loved a whole life long.
Dismissed! Dismissed! You're all dismissed. All except Horace Vandergeld of Yonkers, New York. You're all dismissed. You're free, my children. And bless you. Go! Go!
You may see the prisoner now, Mr. Levi.
Well, Horace, that's your life. Without niece, without bride, without clerks, and without your purse. Looks like there's only one thing left to say.
I don't want to hear it, Dolly. Not in a million years. Under no circumstances will I ever marry you.
That wasn't it at all. All I wanted to say was goodbye.
What?
Goodbye.
Hold on, Dolly.
Horace, I failed. And when a woman fails, there's nothing else she can say
Wait.
but
Hey.
goodbye. And on those cold winter nights, Horace, you can snuggle up to your cash register. It's a little lumpy, but it rings. I'll be all dolled up and singing that song that says, you dog, I told you so. Harvest, you will find your life a sad old story when you see your Dolly shoveled off to glory. Oh, I should have said so long ago.
And I wouldn't marry you, Dolly, if you were the last woman on earth. Not in a million years. Not if you asked me a million times. Dolly, I didn't need you before, and I don't need you now. Dolly, you go your way, and I'll go mine. Dolly. Dolly. Dolly!
You stout, Mr. Vandergelder?
What? Oh, so it's you, Mr. Hackle. Come crawling back, did we?
Oh, no, Mr. Vandergelder. I just came to collect my $146.36. You see, I decided to go into business for myself, and since the only business I know is the hay and feed, I decided to open my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, Mr. Vandergelder, right across the street from you.
Oh, so you think you can compete with Vandergelders, do you? Well, I just... Aha! Another one crawling back, is it? What do you want?
My back salary for the past 4 months, $6.12.
You can't do this to me, either of you. I'll go to the courts. I'll go to the lawyers.
Why, Horace Vandergelder, as I live and breathe, aren't you handsome in an outfit? Supermen nowadays have the courage to wear red and black.
Dolly Gallagher.
I know exactly what you're going to say. You're not satisfied with Ernestina. Well, I happen to have another girl for you. The ideal wife. But don't let me interrupt you. You're doing something. What were you doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, $146.35.
Plus $6.12 of mine.
And the money my mama left me, $52.48.
38.
48.
All right. If it's money you want, the safe is upstairs.
Money, 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 money. Mr. Vandergelder's money. It's like the sun we walk under. It can cure or kill. Vandergelder's never tired of saying that most of the people in this world are fools. And in a way, he's right, isn't he? Himself, Irene, Cornelius, myself, we're all fools. And we're all in danger of destroying the world in our folly. But the surest way to keep us out of harm is to give us the 4 or 5 human pleasures that are our right in this world. And that takes little money. You see, the difference between little money and no money at all is enormous and could shatter the world. But the difference between little money and an enormous amount of money is very slight. And that can shatter the world too. It's all in how you use it. See, my late husband, Ephraim Levi, always said money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow. Anyhow, that's the opinion of the second Mrs. Vandergelder. Which reminds me, Ephraim, I'm ready for that sign.
Well, don't just stand there. That goes upstairs.
Well, as I was saying, Horace, I found you the ideal wife.
Dolly Gallagher, I don't want you to find me no more ideal wives. If I want an ideal wife, I'll find one on my own. And I found her. And it's you, Dolly.
Why, Horace?
I know I've been a fool about Mrs. Malloy and that other woman, but Dolly, forgive me. And marry me.
Horace, stop right there.
What do you mean?
I mean, you know as well as I do that you're the first citizen of Yonkers, and your wife would have to be a somebody. Answer me. Am I a somebody?
You are a wonderful woman.
Oh, you're partial. No, it wouldn't be enough for you to load your wife with money and jewels, to insist that she be a benefactress to half the town. By the way, it's bad business letting Cornelius open up the store right across the street from you. Better take him back and let him be your partner.
Partner?
And Barnaby can have Cornelius's old job.
Hold on, Dolly.
That way we'd all be together to dance at Ermengarth's wedding.
That's it. You've gone too far. I will dance at no weddings. Besides, I don't even know how. And it would take me weeks, months, years to learn. I mean, it's... All right. I'll dance.
Why, Horace, I never thought I'd hear you say a thing like that.
Upstairs, boy, in the front room. Well, go on.
Horace, what's going on up there?
Oh, nothing. Just thought I had that front room done over in blue wallpaper. You see, Dolly, I've always felt that money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless you spread it around a little.
Thank you, Ethel.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without you, Dolly, life was awfully flat, and more than that was awfully wrong.
Horace, I'm staying where I'm at. Horace, though you'll never go away.
Wonderful woman. Again.